Welcome back, everyone, to the Red Deer Road podcast. Recording my second episode today, Sunday afternoon. Got the football games on. Just did the Tom T. Hall. That's how I got the Memphis song episode for that. And now we got Dierks Bentley. What was I thinking? And you're probably thinking, why are we doing this Dierks Bentley song? He's not Brooks and Dunn, not real old. I do a lot of older country artists, but we just saw him in concert. It was at the Country Fest, and there was 3 artists that came before him on there that are newer. I try to get artists that have been around for at least a decade so that I can find their best song, what I think is their best song. And we saw Dierks Bentley. He was the headliner. And so we'll talk about that concert eventually at the end of this episode. But this was pretty much his first big song. And so we're going to get into this. This song written by Dierks Bentley and a couple guys, Derek Rutten, and Brett Beavers. Both those co-writers, it seemed like, really started success in their careers because of this song. Brett Beavers actually went on to have 7 number 1 hits as a co-writer with Dierks Bentley. I don't know if I mentioned, this is the first song off of his very first album. So this is right out of the gates. He had a lot of success with this one. And his first album was really not, I don't think, his best work of art, maybe. But as far as how popular it is, but this song definitely was. This is, I believe, his number 2 song on Spotify right now. Peaked at number 1 on the country charts. Yep, number 2 right now, most popular on his Spotify. Almost 100 million streams. Drunk on a Plane, almost 170 million streams is his current number 1 most popular. So I'm going to browse through some of the Wikipedia for this song. There's a little bit. So it says, I already said about who co-wrote the song. Says the song is an up-tempo in which Dierks Bentley, or the narrator, recalls escaping one night with a beauty from South Alabama named Becky, while the narrator spends the song constantly questioning, what was I thinking? Being mesmerized by Becky into committing all manner of foolish activities. The night begins with Becky and the narrator sneaking out of her father's house, but her father catches them leaving the property and shoots the tailgate. It actually says, peppers my tailgate, which I think is funny, because that's if you ever shot a shotgun, that's exactly how it goes. It's like a pepper, kind of a sprays out of the gun. It's much different than other guns. He says peppers their truck on their way out with a shotgun. Shortly after, they're caught in a police chase where the narrator drives his truck through a cornfield to escape, much to Becky's delight. Later in the night, he encounters a large man with a Born to Kill tattoo, whom he starts a fight with after the man tries to get between him and Becky and has to frantically run away once he knocks out his front tooth. I did not know that was supposed to be. I always figured in the song that was Becky's dad, but I think it says in here that it's supposed to be her ex boyfriend. It says he returns Becky home late at night, but her father is already waiting in a lawn chair in the driveway for the pair. The narrator shuts off his truck and waits for the father, advances towards him, but Becky, being the rowdy girl she is, grins and sends them speeding off into the night once again. So some of this could almost feel like a Brooks and Dunn song without a little bit more aggressive than a Brooks and Dunn song. You don't have those confrontations with the dad and the ex-boyfriend. Some of the critical reception, it says, for this song, says Rick Cahoon of AllMusic gave the single a mixed review, comparing its sound and theme to David Lee Murphy's Dust on the Bottle, calling the song catchy enough yet not overdue, yet catchy enough, yet overdone. Interesting. I did not think of Dust on the Bottle when I think of the song. I think Dust on the Bottle a little less aggressive. There's not much confrontation in that song. Deborah Evans Price of Billboard wrote that the song had an infectious melody and lots of energy. I can agree with that. It says, because of the line, I was thinking about a little white tank top sitting right there in the middle by me. Bentley told Billboard magazine that he began seeing female fans wearing white tank tops to concerts. In 2017, Billboard contributor Chuck Doffin put What Was I Thinkin at number 4 in his top 10 list of Bentley's best songs. And it's got a music video. Actually, I've never seen the music video, but apparently Lauren Elaine is this girl in the song. Apparently she's an actress. Peaked at number 1 on the country charts, number 22 on the Hot 100, which is pretty cool. And is the number 6 country song at the end of the year. So I'm not really going to do a breakdown of the lyrics of the song because I kind of read that in the Wikipedia. My thoughts on the song, I think this is probably his best song. He's got some other good ones after this that are not quite as country sounding. I think this one's rugged and raw. It feels like every guy has been there with this song, you know, even if you haven't. I mean, I've not done really the things in this song, but it always feels like that whenever you are with a girl and the family maybe doesn't completely open up to you, or maybe they're a little bit rugged. It always feels like this. So I think it's super relatable, very funny. I don't hear many songs that go to quite this extreme like this. So it's very funny. I think it's a pretty radio friendly song. It's not super short. It's a little bit over 4 minutes, but for the most part, pretty radio friendly. Yet I think it's a good kind of neo-traditional sound. It's that early 2000s. So that's when, we still had this kind of sound. I love the pedal steel guitar that's in this, or, it might be a similar sounding instrument, but whatever. It's very prevalent throughout this, which is not very common in his music. I love that in this. Wish that he would kind of go back to that. So I got Emma here, and she's going to share her thoughts on this song, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Dierks Bentley at the Country Fest. So what do you think about this song?
Yeah, I really like the song. I think it's super, super catchy. I didn't really listen, I don't know many of Dierks Bentley's songs. But I think out of all of them, kind of what you said, that the song is kind of leans maybe a little more towards the traditional older country. It's really upbeat, super fun to dance to, and I know we'll talk about the concert, but it gets people going and like jumping up and down, and it's really a great song to just get the crowd excited and to get people on the dance floor, that sort of thing. And yeah, the lyrics are really fun. Like you listen to it and it's just it's so easy to follow. Lots of detail, and just takes you through like their whole night, from when she sneaks out, all the like shenanigans they get into, and then the like nerve-wracking, like trying to drop her off, but they're like, nope, the night's not over yet. And I think it kind of plays into a lot of people might like wish they had an experience like this, like just a wild, crazy night out with their friends. And so I think it also kind of feeds into people's imaginations of oh, I wish I had a night like this, sort of thing.
Yeah, so this concert, we went to the Brooks and Dunn concert, and I was telling her that it was pretty amazing how quick they were in between these sets versus the Country Fest. We had watched Riley Green, who I was a little bit disappointed. His set was not very long. There's 2 hours in between each set, and I think he went from like something like, I don't know what it was, maybe 7 o'clock, or I think maybe no 8 o'clock, something like that. And then Dierks Bentley was supposed to come on 10 o'clock. Well, Riley Green, I don't even think it was 9:15 and he was done. So we were up there in the crowd and we had to wait a solid 45 minutes, stand in crowded area.
It was hot.
Hot, very hot this July. And it wasn't super hot out because obviously it's at night, but just so many people, it got hot that close in that space. And so, I thought his performance was all right. I thought it was pretty good. He knows how to put on a show, but he did kind of, this is my favorite song. I think the crowd kind of went wild for this song, and it was like his second to last song. It looked like it was his very last song. And then we were kind of leaving, tried to get out early. And he actually had a bit of an encore, did Drunk on a Plane, which I had actually kind of forgot about, but that is kind of probably his most popular song overall. But this one I would say is his signature one. It's the one that got him the most popular from the beginning. So what did you think about his concert?
I thought it was really fun. It definitely was a little painful waiting for him to come on stage, because like we were trying to get, everyone tries to get as close as they can. It's like we weren't trying to get front row and stuff, but there were so many people that were just pushing their way through the crowd, and like it was packed. It was like sardines. But like once he came on, it was the crowd was having a ball. Everyone was like singing all his songs. There would be moments where he would like stop singing and you would just hear the crowd continue the song for him. It was pretty entertaining, and I tried to listen to a few of his songs before the concert, because I always like trying to sing along, or at least go into the concert so I can have an idea of their styles and everything. And I thought he was really fun. He had like a little alleyway through the crowd that he could run through and like high five the fans. So he had a lot of good energy, and he was really good at just talking to the crowd too. Sometimes artists come on and they just go so quickly through the songs, barely kind of engage the crowd. But I think he did a really good job with keeping us engaged. And I guess he played at the Ohio Country Fest like in the very like beginning when Country Fest became. I think he said that like he was like excited to be back, and he was like the one who kind of got it on.
All right. Yeah, and I'm not a massive Dierks Bentley fan. I think he's a little bit too, I wouldn't even say country pop, but it kind of blends into some sort of different genres, some of his newer music. But I did kind of start to get into some of his other songs. I took some notes. He's got a song called Living, kind of a slower one. I think that's a really good song off his album, The Mountain. I think a lot of people like that one. And then he's got a song actually on the same album that Drunk on a Plane's on. It's called I Hold On. That's a really good one. I think that might be probably my second favorite song by him. It's kind of about still holding on to different, I don't know if it talks about different memories, but holds on to some sort of physical object in your life that means something to you. It might be a truck, it might be a guitar, I think is the two things he mentions. Like his old truck that his dad and him went to go buy and had a lot of memories in it. He holds on to it because it means something to him. It's not just some old truck. He said his dad, I don't think, is around anymore. And it was a great song. I love that song. And yeah, so this is our Dierks Bentley episode. I kind of like to do an episode like this when we see an artist musician that's been around for a little while. So yeah, we'll get back next week to some more music, probably some Brooks and Dunn. We'll see you guys then.